Okay, this video is going to upset some people, but you cannot always manifest anyone you desire because sometimes you're just not a match for them. I said it. And you probably won't hear this on any other channel or not like this because I'm going to bring in some science, biology and psychology. And I never heard any other coach touch on this in the way I'm going to touch on it. But if you're interested in the truth and not just sugarcoating or sweet lies, then make sure you watch this video until the end because it is important that you understand this, especially if you didn't manifest your specific person after you have been manifesting them for a while now. But let's dive right in, shall we? What is important to say is a desire does not automatically equal compatibility. And infatuation does not automatically equal that it is the best fit for you, that there is a real connection. But now you may say, but Janine, everyone is me pushed out, right? And I'm going to say, yes, I believe that. And then you're going to say, but whatever I want wants me too, right? And I'm going to say, yes, I believe that, but, and that is the thing. We need to define wanting, because there's a difference if you want something with your, let's call it ego monkey mind, or if you want something with your entire being. There is a difference if it is maybe just infatuation, or you want them because they're good looking or status or anything like this, or if you feel like they're your person and there is real emotion attached to it. And by it I mean them specifically and not just something they represent. In a moment I'm going to talk about how this connects to our physical body, our nervous system, but also our psyche. I said it was about biology and psychology. But first I need to remind you, manifestation does not work through desire, what you want, but also through identity. Who are you? And also who are you related to your desire? Just because everyone is you pushed out does still not mean you can manifest anyone as your specific person, as a romantic partner. But let's go back to the desire. And I'm going to use an example because I think it makes it very clear. This example will not be for most of you, but it is just something that I think will explain it very well. And also I have had clients who asked me about this. And the example is manifesting a celebrity. I'm not saying it's not possible because ultimately everyone is you pushed out. But the question is, where's the desire coming from? Is it even personal? Is it about that specific person, in that case celebrity, or is it something that you projected onto them or their public persona, which may have nothing to do with how they are in real life, in private life? So if you would want to manifest a celebrity, or again, it could be any other person, but the question is, am I a match for them and are they a match for me? And it could be about personality, are we a match when it comes to values? Are we a match, when it comes to how we see the world, to our personality, to our history maybe even. For example, there is this 16 personality test, and I took it. I am a very proud INFP. But in my case, it wouldn't have to be that my specific person is also an INFP. Spoiler alert, they are, and so is my best friend. But it doesn't have to be. It could also be another kind of personality that is simply a good match to your personality. It doesn't have to be the same. It can be complementary. Also, when we talk about personalities, we can talk about alphas, betas, gammas, deltas, omegas, sigmas. And of course, it's not fixed like only alphas go together, because we also have like a secondary trait. We are never like purely just one thing. For example, I am a Sigma with Omega traits. But for me, I can say only a Sigma man would be good for me. Any other kind of man would not be my match. It might be very hard if, for example, we would want to match a Delta personality, which can be very shy and timid, with a Sigma personality, which is very strong in who they are. But then those are just not just labels. I mean, they are real personalities, but I'm just using it to show that not everybody is always a match. And sometimes we want something out of infatuation, but is it actually a good match? Back to the case of wanting to manifest a celebrity. Are you the match for that person? Can you match their probably larger than life energy, their creativity, if their intelligence and their intellect? Is there something you have in common? Are there other things where you are complementary? Otherwise, you are not going to end up in a happy, fulfilling relationship, neither one of you. And when I say can you match them, I'm not talking about money or fame. Because that person was already that person before the money and the fame came. They already had their personality. But are you a match for their big energy, their it factor? And again, this is just an example. You can apply this to anything else. Or also when it comes to celebrity, let's say it's a very famous person. Are you a match for that lifestyle? And by that, I don't mean that you have the same funds. It's not about that at all. But if you would want to manifest a celebrity, that would come with a completely different lifestyle. It would come with less privacy, getting a lot of attention. Is that something you really want? Not just with your mind, but with your whole being. Otherwise, there is this kind of split within you. There is this part of you who says, yes, I do want it. And then there is the other part within you that says, but this is so different. I don't know if I want it. And then we have friction. And the bigger part in you that may be scared is going to be the one that decides whether or not you're going to manifest this. And I already said it's about identity. So in that scenario where it would be the celebrity, you would first have to check, why would I want them? Is it because I have any lack within myself? Is it because I think they could save me in a way? Not going to work. It doesn't matter whom you want to manifest. If you feel like the person you want to manifest is there to save you, to bring you something you don't already have, you can try to manifest them for ages. You can do your sats, your affirmations for years after years after years after years. They're not going to be a frequency match. And again, by that, I don't mean that you have to have the same kind of money, but in that case, maybe financial stability, being happy and content where you are. If you want to manifest someone because you feel lonely, well, then we have to heal that wound of feeling lonely and of feeling rejected. Whatever the thing is that you think the person can give to you, it is something that needs to be within you first. Otherwise, you're not going to get all the way over there where they are. You cannot meet them there. You have to evolve in a way to get there. And again, it doesn't matter whom you want to manifest. So if you want to manifest someone, and there is a big difference, like lifestyle, when we said the celebrity factor, or different culture, different religion, it is vital to really sit down and ask yourself, what am I scared of? Do I have any fears when it comes to that? Or do I think they are going to save me in a way? If you do have any fears connected to your specific person, that has nothing to do with love, that has nothing to do with them, but with anything connected to them. As I said, it may be culture, different lifestyle, wealth, whatever it is. If it is something that is foreign to you and to your nervous system, you are not going to manifest it until you have made peace with it first. So it's not just about, do I want this person? It is very much about, can I match them where they stand right now? And then you may say, well, but if they're me pushed out, I can change them. Yes, in a way you can change people. But then I'm asking you, why do you want to manifest them if you want to change them? Wouldn't it be easier to just manifest a person that already has all the traits you want? Then again, if it's something that is not really about that person, but it is something about their status or their culture or their religion, or I'm just using any kind of example, whatever it is that is scaring you, then you need to tackle exactly that fear within you. Because even if you change them, that situation may not change. And if it would change, then they may not be the same person anymore. So why would you want to manifest them? Okay, but this was very much about, well, two things so far. And I'm going to give you, as I said, the biology and the psychology. Well, this was mainly about the psychology. You know, are you a match? Is your self-concept fit? But this is two parts. Again, your self-concept is about, do you see them as a savior, not going to work? The other thing is, are you a match to them when it comes to core values, character traits, and personality? If not, then your system may already know, and then there's nothing you can do basically to change it. Because sometimes that bigger part of us is protecting us from things that are not meant for us. And by not meant for us, I mean because it would probably create more harm to us. It's just our mind, our desire doesn't even know about it. But now let's talk a little about, as I said, about the biology or our nervous system. Imagine a radio station that is broadcasting at a very specific frequency, and you need your device, the radio, and you have to tune into the same frequency in order to broadcast that. And that is basically when we want to manifest anything, we have to get into alignment with the energy of that thing or person in that case. But sometimes we can't because it is a mismatch. And here we are now talking about the limbic system. The limbic system is connected to a part in your brain that knows, is this person safe for me? Are we alike? Your limbic system can realize if they're over here in frequency and you are over here. You will not be able to manifest it. Okay? Your limbic system noticed this is a mismatch. However, what can sometimes happen is that even though you are very far apart when it comes to frequency, there is something that is alike, for example, trauma, and your system recognizes the same trauma in their system, and you have the click and the instant attraction in a way, but it is just based on the trauma, and then we have a trauma bond. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about they broadcast a specific frequency, you have your own, and the closer you are to someone who has a similar vibe than you, and it's really about a vibe, being on the same wavelength, you could also say, the more they feel safe to your system, the more you feel at home. And you can have that with anyone. You can have that with friends, with family, and of course with lovers, neighbors, with a tutor, a teacher, whoever it is. You know, the more you are aligned, the more you don't feel like this big energy, you just feel calm around them and you feel relaxed around them. But if you're very far apart, then your system, your limbic system, before you consciously can think, your limbic system already knows that's a match or that's not a match. However, in some people that are not very much aligned with themselves, it can be overwritten like something like attraction, I said earlier, status, and then we can think we want them. Maybe we put them on a pedestal, and here's again the celebrity example. We can put them on a pedestal, but they are not a good match for us. And our body, our limbic system already knows. But with the celebrity example, the thing is, in order to really know, you would have to be in the same room with them. You cannot know that if you have never seen them in person. Two systems need to be in vicinity to find each other and really feel each other, and that is the other thing. Your nervous system knows before your mind can catch up. And what happens when someone is really, really, really close? You get that click feeling, and the closer it is, the more intense this feeling is. So what happens now if your nervous system is over here? And again, here, this is not about better. This is not about anything is better. It's just about being different, not better or worse. It's not even about is one person healed or not. Both may be completely happy and at peace with their life and have overcome everything they needed to overcome, and they are aligned and happy, okay? So both can be happy, but if your nervous system does not match the other person, you will not be able to manifest them. And no other coach will tell you about this. However, if you're saying, no, that's not the case for me. My person and I, we are a good match. I feel calm around them. I feel at peace with them. I feel at home whenever I am next to them. Not saying that, of course, when you're in separation that you are always at peace. No, if they trigger your fear of loss and abandonment, then you're not at peace the moment you get triggered. Then that is something you have to address. But if you are around them and you feel eased and relaxed and you still haven't managed to manifest them, then you can check the description box, because I have a free ebook with the 3 most common blocks. You can get it for free. And if you're interested in all 18 blocks that I have found, then you can get the entire ebook on janinenicole.com. Link is in the description box below. Your system knows this is not good. But we do manifest with our subconscious mind, our assumptions. But it's not a conscious thing. It is just misalignment. It is a mismatch. It doesn't matter how hot they are, how much you put them on a pedestal. It doesn't matter, even if you can be crazy passionate and have the most amazing sex, all of this does not matter so much. What matters is, does your system know this person matches me, they're safe? And of course, you can be in a relationship with someone who is not a good match in the nervous system area. Many people do get together with someone, but if you want a long-lasting, happy relationship, then you need to be a match in a way. So if your system already knows, no, not them, they're not good for us. And again, by not good, it's because they're a bad person. It is just you're not a match. You're broadcasting on a completely different frequency. Your core being is completely different. Your subconscious already knows what is your fit and what is not. And I'm afraid we cannot really override that. Or, I mean, everyone is you pushed out. Yes, technically you could change them, but then they're not them anymore. So you just manifest a completely different energy in the same vessel. Why not just manifest someone that is more aligned with you from the beginning? And again, this has nothing to do with I need to heal more, I need to reprogram myself, I need to grow, I need to better my self-concept. We were talking about self-concept in the beginning of the video. This is more your core value, your core energy. Who are you deep down? And if you are a good match, you will notice that with that person, you don't get the crazy butterflies, at least not for a long time. Maybe when you meet like the first couple of minutes, but the crazy butterflies, the big emotions, that is usually not when it's a perfect match. The perfect match, it brings you calmness, it brings you peace. Being around them feels like home. So if you don't have that with your person, it may be your nervous system telling you it is not them. And then you can continue more and more years to try to manifest them, or you check, okay, it's not really them I like, it is just something about them I like, or I just fixated on them, it is some kind of infatuation or obsession, but it is not really true love. And if it is something you like about them, you can still observe these traits and you can manifest someone who has those traits you like so much. So there it is. In order to manifest someone, we don't have to have the matching personalities. You can still manifest someone who's not a good match, but then you would either have to completely change your self-concept, or rather your concept about that person, or it's not going to last. But listen to your body, your subconscious mind, it already knows. And if your body tells you it's a no, it's a no. So the thing is, we don't manifest someone we worship. Back to the case of the celebrity, we manifest someone where we can stand next to, someone where we can hold their energy, where we are equal to them, where we are a match. And if you find your match, then you will be able to manifest them.